Before I became a true crime YouTuber, I was actually a gym rat quite a few times ago. I learned back then, abs are made in the kitchen. Thank the Lord, the pounds are coming back off. With a little help from compounded semaglutide, helped me get back to the clean eating. Okay, wait, time jump and location jump. It's taken me a while to make this video. I've tried in the past and I'm starting over. Let me stop myself right here and tell you that many people are taking semaglutide in many different forms, whether it's compounded, whether it's Ozempic, Wegovy, Saxenda, whatever the names are, whatever the glutides are. But a lot of people are hiding the fact that they're taking it because they don't want to deal with the controversy or the backlash, and we'll get into all that in this video. But I want to make something helpful and healthy, just a place for us to come together and talk about our weight loss experiences. So my weight, as you can see, has been all over the place over the decades, like many people. So I'm 54 years old right now, and I'm like 5'11".
My name is Sally O'Malley. I'm proud to say that I'm 50 years old. I'm not one of those gals who's afraid to tell her real age. And I like to kick, stretch, and kick. I'm 50.
So in the past, when I did bikini competitions and you go on these really restricted eating plans, a lot of chicken, a lot of brown rice, some carb cycling, I did 4 different competitions. Thankfully, I won one. My lowest was about 137, which is really low, and I'm not trying to trigger anyone with ED or no bad advice or anything like that. I know that was pretty low. They call that a stage weight for a specific purpose and a specific reason. But at this height, my all-time highest weight that I ever really remember seeing on the scale was 212 pounds, which is just too much for me. That's almost tipping into the obesity range. I think I was just always overweight. I never hit obese, thank God. I was praying for a miracle, and I feel like this semaglutide could be a miracle for a lot of people. That's why it's getting a lot of buzz. I wanted to make this a semaglutide focused channel so we can all talk to each other about our experiences, even for the many people just hiding in the shadows because they don't want to deal with, all this backlash, like all these Bravo beauties that people are accusing of taking Ozempic or whatever, whether they are or not, and celebrities. Now we see how many of them probably started losing weight without admitting it. We don't know if Adele ever took it, but all of a sudden she popped back on social media a lot thinner than she was. People theorize maybe Mindy Kaling took it. Aisha Curry, perhaps. She's been looking pretty great lately. So we don't know who's taken it, who's not. I don't blame people for not wanting to admit it because of how negative the press has been, how negative people have been coming out against people who take it. But my A1C was a little bit elevated, like pre-diabetic. I prayed for a miracle. Thank God in Jesus, I feel like I've gotten one. And now it's just coming back together. Things are getting healthier. The first controversy people talked about with Ozempic, and I'm not taking Ozempic, I'm taking a compounded semaglutide. But for the folks who were taking Ozempic, some were prescribed it and taking it off-label for weight loss, and this made people very angry because some diabetics were not able to get their Ozempic, and I understand that. You want diabetics to have their Ozempic as needed to control their diabetes, to control their weight, and they should have that. So I understand the anger there, but that was the whole kit and caboodle at first when Ozempic came out. We learned about celebrities taking it. All you heard was people saying they're stealing it from diabetics. Well, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about something that's not Ozempic. It's not the pen. I'm talking about compounded semaglutide or semaglutide salts. I get it through a doctor, through a prescription, a well-known pharmacy. I take it once a week. The injections, I usually inject somewhere in my tummy. I've been taking it for more than 10 weeks now. So my weight this morning, I was down to 181.8 pounds. When I started this around April 3rd, 2023, my weight at the doctor's office, it said 210 pounds on their scale. So when I went there, that might have just been my consultation at first. I had to find this reputable local doctor. That's what I suggest. A doctor is reputable, is board certified, knows what he's doing. Like I went in, I had a consultation first, I got the appointment, I went in, they showed me how to inject myself. Before that too, I got my blood work taken and they measured measure you and they get your history. He wanted to see, like, I had my blood panel previously done like last year. So you see the condition of my thyroid and make sure certain factors are okay with you to take these semaglutide injections. So that's what I suggest. If you're thinking about it at all, you find someone reputable, a doctor, local, you can go in, they can literally see you, they can literally take your blood, your measurements, examine you, figure out your medical history, not just some willy-nilly person selling it online. So after my first 4 weeks of taking the semaglutide injections, I went back to the doctor for my first month's checkup. It said I was down to 190 pounds. So that means she was so surprised. The nurse was like, wait, you lost 20 pounds in a month? I was surprised and grateful too. It was just miraculous. Now I've done the, boot camps in the past, and I've changed my eating and high intensity and doing all that. I remember I've lost 10 pounds in a month. My body knows how to lose weight. It's just as you get older, and this insulin resistance is what my doctor was speaking of. He was saying he didn't know what it is in the food or whatever's happening that have made so many people insulin resistant. It's like they're in this space between diabetes and non-diabetes, this pre-diabetic state that's making so many people insulin resistant. He doesn't know what it is, but he says it's increasing. That's why a lot of doctors like him are grateful to have something to work with. So right now I'm sitting at about 30 pounds less than my highest weight ever, 212 pounds. So now I am about 182, rounding up. That's 30 pounds less. That's more than I've been able to take off in the past 4 or 5 years by myself through diet and exercise. So there's some good press about semaglutides out there too. After all the diabetic theft madness, I think some of these people don't necessarily do the research. Some have some great articles, and we'll talk about all of them in future videos. Some great personal anecdotes. So now the latest controversy is, are these compounded semaglutides really safe enough to take? I've read just about everything you can on these GLP-1 factors, everything that's coming out, because I want to know, I want to be safe, of course. But personally, what I've experienced is something so dramatic that I haven't really experienced ever. It's dramatically curbed my sweet tooth. I mean, I have a sweet tooth, or I used to at least. And yeah, I was an emotional eater. And of course, I've been able to, set my mind and change it and look forward to these competitions and go on 6 to 12 week diets or whatever and cut out the sugar and all of that, cut out the alcohol and eat a lot of protein when I could and eat veggies and all that. But after the shows were over, it's like, how do you eat from day to day in a way where you're not craving the chocolate cake? You don't want a glass of wine. Right now, I could just live at Chick-fil-A almost. I'm all about Chick-fil-A salads. And yeah, I'll get the dressing. Sometimes I'll skip the dressing and just mix avocados in there. But I like their Greek yogurt and their fruits and granolas in there. And I'm not tempted by, I don't even want cookies or cake. The yogurt is enough. I don't even want ice cream. I eat eggs and grits most mornings. I'm eating more vegetables. You literally, for me, you crave it. And different people have different experiences. I mean, I was on the 0.25 milligrams, I think it is, dose, the lowest dose. Some people only stay on that the first 4 weeks. I stayed on it the first 8 weeks, 0.25, because I wanted to be on the lowest dose possible and see if I could still lose weight. Right now it feels like just kind of steady, so I went up to 0.5 milligrams over the last 2 weeks. So I did 8 weeks worth of 0.25, 2 weeks worth of 0.5 milligrams. And then we'll see how it goes over the next few weeks if I titrate up to 1 milligram. I think some people go all the way up to 2. I don't want to have to go up to the max. I just want to do whatever's the healthiest for me that still can foster weight loss in a healthy way. It doesn't have to be rapid. I didn't expect to lose 20 pounds the first month, but maybe my body's really sensitive. It really helped me. I wasn't craving. It was enough to try and get enough calories in the day. My side effects are really mild. Like most people experience, you might have a little constipation. Some people have diarrhea. I didn't have that. I just didn't go as often as I used to. I would go generally every day, but that kind of changed. Maybe it's every other day, I don't know. Mild nausea, my little alcohol prep pads, just sniffing a little bit alcohol soaked on a paper towel or whatever, that can help quell nausea. I don't really get it because semaglutide really helped me change my eating. I no longer want it like, greasy pizza or greasy fried a lot of stuff. I just eat a lot of salads with chicken in them. I tested things out, like I would try a BLT at Swenson's, hold the mayo, stuff that still had veggies in it. So I try a little things. I try here and there. I didn't want to just jump back in. I didn't want to keep eating the same way I've been eating, and that's really helped me. Now for exercise, technically, I just walk for the main part. I'm not like a gym rat anymore, even though I've been meaning to get back in there. I have these 15-pound weights, 15 pounds? Yeah, I have these 15-pound weights. I keep them in the bedroom because I'm like, okay, at least try and get some kind of exercise going here. So I have a little bit of weights. I want to get muscular. I want to keep my strength and my muscles, get them back a little bit, but still, decrease the fat. I just don't want like sagging skin, and try and get that back together. But I'm not like the gym rat, the 2-a-days, the person I used to be, always working out, getting ready for a show or just trying to keep it together, and when the show is over, then it's like, oh, binge. No, I want to stay healthy, even keel, get my weight down to whatever's healthy for my height, which would probably be around 140s or 150s would be fine. Like my doctor said, we don't have long-term studies. He's been prescribing, I guess, semaglutide compounds for about a year or more now, and so he studied basically his patients to see how we've literally reacted to it. One guy has lost like 100 pounds or more. I mean, it's really miraculous for some people. But again, you have to talk to your own doctor about it. It depends on your own condition. Do all your own research. Don't take my word for it. But I've noticed more and more places are getting it. Another place here in my local town, a nurse just told me they're getting it in too. You see Weight Watchers, Noom, they're buying companies that'll be able to prescribe semaglutide. I'm looking into stock. We'll talk about semaglutide stock and all that. I plan to in future videos. So those are the positives. You don't really crave greasy foods the same way. Alcohol. Some people are really, there's some testimonies out there of alcoholics, how it literally took away their cravings. Just people used to drink like so much every day, and you don't want that cake. Some people try and change that into a negative, like, oh, life is so boring on Ozempic. Some people think, oh, foods tasted really good before you take it, and afterwards on semaglutide, you won't want the foods, they won't taste as good. Well, for me, I still think foods taste good. Like right now, I plan to go to Chick-fil-A, maybe go grab a Cobb salad or a market salad, or even the spicy salad. Some people have to stay away from spicy foods. And like yesterday, I ordered, my standard omelet from Bob Evans. It had veggies all in there, and their toast, they had avocado. I got that. That was good. I love avocado. But their toast, it was so slathered in butter. I ate maybe one square, maybe one whole slice of sourdough toast. But it did make me feel a little queasy, like, okay, this is a little bit too greasy for me. But people are finding even other habits might be broken. I don't know what it does to the brain, but you might end up, if you do take it or if you are taking it, you may have noticed maybe some other bad habits, I don't know, like nail biting or who knows. Stuff is still coming out about it. You might find that really changes for the better for you. People, I read the comments, and this is why some folks don't want to come out with it, that they're taking semaglutide. Because some people, the only thing they've heard is, first of all of it is being stolen from diabetics, which isn't true. And then they move on to, well, maybe it's not safe. Or the main thing, people are saying, oh, it's like it's cheating. It's like you're taking the easy way out. You'll read the average gym bro or whomever leave a random comment like, just eat better. Just diet and exercise, just move more and eat less. Oh wow, Sherlock, don't you think many obese or overweight people have tried that? Yes, people have tried that. I mean, over the years, obviously, I know how to diet, I know how to exercise. When I changed my focus from not being such a gym rat and working more, and putting more into YouTube. Of course, I wasn't working out as much, and my eating habits changed. When I would try, some people, we really do try, and then we give in to the cravings, these powerful cravings, and eat, and the scale might go like this, up and down, gaining and losing the same 5 pounds. But semaglutide has helped bring about sure progress for insulin-resistant people by literally changing the cravings. Of course, this is what helps us eat better. It's so simple to tell an overweight person, oh, just eat better. Do you think they want to be overweight? Some people really don't want to be overweight. They don't want to be obese. They don't want the backlash. They don't want the harmful slights and the weird looks and they don't want to be looked at as failures. They don't want to be looked at as they have some moral failing. People know they have an issue. People may have tried. This seems to change something so that when you want to go eat a salad, chicken, salad, lots of veggies, and just eat that salad and maybe eggs, maybe some fruit for breakfast, even a little grits like I like, and stay within a healthy calorie range for the day, and you're able to say, nope, I don't want dessert, I don't want wine, I don't want beer, I don't want whatever. That's the key that has been helping people drop the pounds on semaglutide. I know how to be disciplined, it's just something changed, and I couldn't explain it. And even my other doctor said something was going on with certain people who swear all they're eating is like toast and tea and whatever, and they're staying within their calorie range and they were not losing weight. But anyway, thanks for this revelation and revolution. Something chemical going on, changing your brain, making you feel fuller, making you not like wanna, a billion times a day, even when you're not hungry. Because if you overeat, or if you eat the quote wrong things, and I'm not into that, oh, this food is bad, this food is good, you have to change a lot of your thinking. If you eat something just too greasy, too gross and fatty, that's what makes people sick. So I hate getting sick. So that's why I started really cautiously, like, okay, let me stick with this salad. These salads taste great. That's what I crave. It's keeping me within good, healthy calorie limits. And yeah, it can make you feel a little tired too, especially maybe the first day after your injection. And you just kind of play it easy. You see how it reacts to your body if and only if your doctor says semaglutide is right for you. But if you're taking it or if you're thinking of it, let me know your experiences. I know a lot of people are interested in weight loss in a healthy way. It's weird things. It gives you wild dreams. I like it. It reminds me of when I used to fast for spiritual reasons. As a Christian, sometimes I would fast for a day or 2 or 3 when I felt led. Lord, help me through it. So when I would turn down my plate, as they say, and just go either water only or a little absolute fast, maybe just for a day and a half most. But I had the most intense dreams. They were like movies because I don't know, it's like my brain had more to do when it wasn't worried about, all this food going in there. But so it reminded me of that. So some of the things that people are talking about, like, oh, Ozempic face rapid weight loss, face gets thinner, Ozempic fingers, they're talking about, like, oh, women are worried because their rings and their Cartier bracelets are coming off faster because their fingers are slimmed down, they'll have to get their rings sized down. Ozempic butt, yeah, people are talking about, oh, but this stuff was just normal stuff to me with Ozempic thrown in front of it because I've been used to training for shows, and of course your body's like a balloon. You're going to lose weight everywhere, in your face, in your hands, in your feet, everywhere. And yeah, I did remember when the first time I had dropped about 40 pounds or so before my first competition years ago. I was like, oh my goodness, yeah, I'm losing my backside. But then that's when I learned to, you do kickbacks and you learn to do squats, and all these great trainers I've had taught me so much about weight loss and eating and all of that. But yeah, wild dreams. I was used to that from fasting, all these Ozempic face, Ozempic fingers, Ozempic whatever they come up with, just to have a new thing to talk about, to keep Ozempic in the headlines. But I feel like maybe hopefully it's 50-50, but 75% sometimes bad. It's like, oh, the new Ozempic horror story in the press today. But not always. I'm in Facebook groups, I'm in Reddit threads, I'm reading so many weight loss stories, before and after photos. People are putting up most of them. I was trying to find my highest weight photo. I don't know if I'll be able to find it to put it in here, but I will put a photo of when I was comparable, around 208, when I had my daughter. That was like my highest weight prior to me hitting 212 years later. So I wanted to be able to do a good before and after of how I looked over 200 pounds to, where I am now. I want to get to a comfortable point, maybe in the 150s, see how it goes. And I just want to put my story out there because I've followed some brave souls on YouTube or TikTok who haven't been afraid to talk about their semaglutide experiences without worrying about all of the backlash. I don't want to hide, I want to help. So I plan to just throw up videos on this channel. Probably won't edit them that much, if at all, and just throw them up there so we can have a back and forth about our experiences. And yes, it can be expensive. Some people, of course, their doctors will prescribe them Ozempic. One side effect, I must say, burping. People do notice you might burp more, but it's not like sulfur burps as people are talking about. To me, taking semaglutide makes you taste like oranges, citrus. In my experience, it feels like it tastes like oranges. Not everyone might have that experience, but don't necessarily believe all the negative hype. I think some folks are just looking for something negative to say and say, oh, it's going to be like fen-phen, it's going to be like, all these things in the past that people thought were miracle drugs, and it really went wrong. I hope it's not like that. I pray in Jesus' name it's a healthy solution for a lot of people who are either obese or overweight and are experiencing elevated A1Cs. They are diabetic or pre-diabetic, experiencing problems related to weight loss. Not just the vanity of it. Of course, a lot of us don't want to be overweight, but we also don't want the health problems that can come with being obese or overweight. But yeah, it can be expensive, especially if a person's insurance might not cover it for them based on their insurance, if they have it, their condition, what have you. Right now, I'm paying $349 per month for a membership at my doctor's office. That includes the cost of, supplies. They're like Botox needles, really little needles. I don't mind injecting myself. Some people have a problem with injections. Actually, I'd rather take an injection than a pill, which could be weird to some, but I just don't like taking pills. It's easy. And so that covers the cost of, me seeing my doctor the first time I met him, the lessons on injections, the talk, the history, giving him my medical history, him answering all the questions I had. So I go back every month, I get weighed, they keep it in their system. I get my measurements taken, they see my progress. So for me, it's not like $349 for one bottle of whatever. This Thursday when I go, I'll pick up a 4 milliliter, I think it is, bottle. So I don't know how many injections that'll get me. Right now I'm on, 0.5. I don't know, I might be mixing up milliliters with milligrams, forgive me. 0.5, so that would get me 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would get me through maybe the next 8 weeks through one bottle. So it's not necessarily like, oh, well, this is water. It's not like $349 for this size bottle or whatever. It's based on your progress and how your doctor sees you coming along. I talked with the nurse and made my decision like, oh, I want to stay on 0.25 for longer. I was kind of scared to titrate up. But once I saw my weight was kind of like, steady, she was like, yeah, that's what you do. I said, I didn't lose that much, the second month I went back. So I said, I think I want to titrate up to 0.5 right now. And she's like, yeah, that's what you do. You maybe stay on that level you're on and see when it kind of not stops working, but it's not as much weight loss. And so you titrate up. So titrating up to 0.5 has been fine. No side effects for me. We'll see where my weight loss goes. Some people talk about hair loss. Some people talk about hair growth. So it can be all over the place. But yeah, if you're on it, if you're thinking about it, let me know your experiences. Thanks for watching and just stay tuned. I plan to keep updating my progress and see what's what and talk about the controversy, the successes, before and afters, and everything. Take care.